Hello, 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 everybody. Hi. My name's Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party. It's Friday night. Oh, yeah. We're going to be painting our scenery. People been wanting me to do a landscape, so we got that going on. We got our mama duck with all our little ducklings, so we have that going on. So say hi if you're painting with me tonight. You know how much I love roll call. Let me know if anyone's painting with you. It is free to watch all of my videos, so please, please, please don't respond to any spam that's asking you to register or asking you for any sort of personal information. It is not me. Make sure whatever you're replying to says Eve's Creations Paint Party makes the post, okay? I just want to put that out there because those spammers are like bing, 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 trying to trick you, and I don't want any of my fam getting tricked, all right, guys? So hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. I just want to let you know it's always free to paint. Tips are appreciated, and I want to just give a shout out to everyone who has sent support and send support for last week. You guys make this possible. You know, unfortunately, paint supplies aren't free. So, hey, Lisa, how you doing? Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Hannah's going to be a new mama. Hello, Hannah. Good to see you, sweetie. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Lisa. How you doing, guys? Hello, fam. So excited to see everybody tonight. We're going to have fun. Hey, Rhonda. How you doing, sweetheart? Hello. Hi, everybody. So, Hannah, you're not painting with me. You're slacking, girl. That's all I got to say. Slacking. Yeah, Hannah's going to be a new mama. Hey, Kristen. How you doing? Hey, that's my name. That's my real actual name, Kristen, Kristen. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam, Kath. We're all one big happy family here. Selena is here. Bring on the paint. That's right, baby. Bring on the paint. Oh, bring on the paint. That's right. All right, so speaking of paint, hey, Jenny's in the house. Jenny is here. Hannah, only you would get morning sickness in the evening. Only you. I don't know what's going on with my music. The big old commercial coming in. We gotta, trying to say hello to everybody, and I hear this big old commercial. So we gotta say hi to the Mr. Butters, because he might chime in later. So say hello, Mr. Butters. Say hi. You checking out your kibbles? Yeah? Butters, what you doing? Hey, Butters. Hi. He's like, Ma, leave me alone. I'm trying to eat my food. All right, guys. That's my baby, Kelly. That's my baby. We have to introduce him because sometimes he likes to chime in and talk to y'all. So, and y'all, where'd that come from? Hello, Calpana. Hi, Calpana. So, everybody, welcome Kathy. Kathy is a first timer, so everybody say hi to Kathy. We're gonna get you right in here, girl. That's what we're gonna do. Hey, guys. All right, weapons this evening. We got a couple of them. All right. So we have Big Boy. He is a 1-inch flat. We have Mini Me. He looks just like Big Boy, except he is small. We have Tiny in the house. He is a very small round brush. This is a size 1. Hey, Cheryl. Megna's here. We have a medium-sized fluffy. Any stiff bristled brush that kind of fluffs out in all directions, you'll be good. And we have a large fluffy in the house tonight. Oh, yeah. So you want to keep your brushes in the water unless I instruct you to clean them. And you will hear me say swirl, tap, dab your brush. You want to dab your brush on your paper towel in the shape of the bristles. You want them to be wet but not dripping. Okay, guys? So Megna's here. She's setting up. She's setting up. Hi, Magna. All right, so I got to put you guys in a handy dandy holder. And I got to grab some paint. Same colors every single party. Just lowering the music a little bit so I'm not screaming. Hey, Rhonda, you're not getting sound? Hey, Kel, how you doing, hon? She's back. Kel is in the house. Hey, baby. Rhonda, I'm not really sure why you're not getting sound. Maybe log out, log back in again. Not really sure. I feel terrible. I have people looking for the live. Right. We have to give prayers to Hannah. I hope she feels better. So I have people texting and saying they can't find the live. It's right on my business page. So if anybody has friends that are trying to join them, just tell them to go on my business page, okay? Happy Earth Day. All right, I'm going to pour the paint. And I'm going to put you guys in your handy dandy holder. Tammy's here. Tammy, yay! Tammy and Julie is here. It's about time. It's about time, Tammy and Julia. Where you guys been? We got Hannah on here. She's going to have a baby. We got Megan on here wishing us happy Earth Day. You guys are slacking. All right, so say hello if you're painting with us tonight. We're all one big happy family. Here we are. We got good old Mama Duck and all the little babies and our lovely scenery in the background. So I'm working on a 16 by 20 canvas, 16 by 20. So I'm holding it straight up and down. All right, so if you're working on something smaller, that's okay. As long as you're in the general vicinity of the canvas that I'm working in, you will be fine. That's right, Lisa. So you stop painting to go onto a video where we're painting. Okay. All right, guys. So if you need a reference photo, let me back this up a little bit. There you go. So if you need a reference photo, take a screenshot because I can't show you both at once. I cannot show you both at once. I'm going to pour my paint. You guys do the same. And we're going to get this thing rolling. That's right, Magna. Hannah's going to have a baby. So not only does she have all her chihuahuas and Dustin to take care of, now she's going to have a baby to take care of too. How exciting is that, right? Super exciting. Super exciting. Okay, so my yellow paint does not want to cooperate right now. Not really sure why, but it's not cooperating. Alright, so we'll just go on to other paint. Whatever. I'll grab some more yellow paint while you guys are ketchup mustard. Ketchup mustard, I'll grab yellow paint. Hey! Hey, guys. That's right. All y'all say hello to each other. All right, so those of you that are new to this shindig, we have blue, red, yellow, white, and black. Same colors every single party. Oh, yeah, and my yellow decided to go all nutty on me. Aw, Lisa, prayers for Lisa. You don't want to be walking around dizzy. That's my job. That's my job to walk around dizzy, not you with vertigo, all right? So prayers to you, prayers to Hannah, and everybody stay happy and healthy. Rhonda's going to be a Nana. Oh, yeah. All right, Rhonda. All this good news tonight. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Awesome. All right, so nice. So Rhonda's going to be a Nana, Hannah's going to be a Mama, and Lisa is going to not get dizzy. And somehow, some way, I got yellow paint all over myself. I didn't put my smock on yet because I really like my bunny shirt. And I wound up splattering yellow paint all over me. All over me. And on my sneaker too. It's on my sneaker. I gotta rub it out of my sneaker. That's what I get for not putting my smock on. Oh no, Tammy, you got a quarantine? That stinks. I can't even scroll because I have yellow paint all over my hands. Yellow paint all over me. Cinder is here. Hey, Cinder. Cinder, your babies played tug of war with your book. So, yep, you are definitely painting with us tonight. Alright, so I gotta get all this yellow paint off of me and my shoe. Hey, Kim. How you doing, sweetie? Hey, Kim, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great, Kim. You're gonna do great, Kim. Trust me. No worries. Everything's gonna be just fine. Because I already made a mess. I already made a mess, so everything's gonna be great. I got paint on my shirt. See? I got paint all on my shirt. I got it all over my hands. I got it on my sneaker. I got it everywhere. So, don't worry about messing up. We mess up all the time. It's all good. We do it all the time. So now, should I even put my smock on? Who even knows, right? Should I put my smock on and be professional? All right, Eve, put your smock on. Stop being a bum. Stop being a bum. Jen is here. Jen, I think my ducks are with your ducks. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. I tried. Thank you, Kim, for sharing. Jen found us. All right, Jen, now we can start because you're here. Now we can start because you're here. Now, Magna, I posted about having all our ducks in a row when you share your paintings later. So it's a saying, like, meaning when all your ducks are in a row, that means like you got your act together. So we were joking around that all our ducks are not in a row because we definitely don't have our act together. All right, so take your screenshot. There you go. All right, gonna move you a little bit closer. Okay, getting ready. Get ready. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, the almighty blank canvas. It's so scary. So scary, but we're going to fill it with some beautiful colors. Right, Kim? Yeah, same with me, hon. Ducks are definitely not in a row. But that's okay. We're going to have fun painting them. We're going to have some fun painting them, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right, so everybody's roll tap that big boy. Everybody's, look, so I got my smock on now because, because I already made the mess. So now I'm going to put this on. Oh, man. Never changes. Tammy, nothing ever changes around here. I'm so excited you guys are here. Exactly. We are the Ducks Not in a Row Club. All right, so you're going to swirl tap that big boy. Here's my 1-inch flat. And you're going to go right into your white and your yellow. White and yellow, people. White and yellow. And you want to turn around and make a very large strip all the way down the center of your canvas. So everybody find their center. Oh, find our center. Oh, nice and calm. This is our center of our canvas. And you're just going to put yellow and white, a nice big strip right down the center. And you want extra, extra, extra of this, okay? So make sure you put a bigger strip than you actually want in your painting. Okay? I don't know, Magna, when do you want to have another Zoom party? I'm always down for a Zoom party. You guys know that. You guys want to turn around and have me one-on-one with just you and a group of your friends? We could Zoom away. We could Zooma, all you guys want. They're a lot of fun, right, Magna? Magna had hers for her birthday. Oh, and I got a surprise. I have next Friday's painting done. And I'm sticking to, I don't know if you noticed, but this is like the beginning of the Mother's Day theme, you know, with the ducks and the mama duck. And next Friday is going to be along the same theme. So, you guys, you're in for a surprise. The paint is still officially wet. Alright, so you're going to go all the way till about a hand and a half down from the bottom of your canvas. About 1/4 of your canvas if you want to get really technical. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't get technical. About a hand worth. Alright, so you don't want to go further than that. And you're making this very big strip down the center of your canvas. Alright, and the reason we're making this extra big is because the yellow gets swallowed up really, really, really fast. So if you're not careful, you're going to lose your whole yellow stripe because it's super duper duper easy to have it get swallowed up. Alright, and we don't want that to happen. We do not want that to happen. We don't want to lose our yellow. Alright, and now that I don't know if I could lose the yellow, it's all over me. Oh, that's all right, Lisa. It's okay if you went all the way down. That's fine. We're just going to cover it anyway. All right, so once you have your yellow stripe all the way down, you want to turn around, and you're going to grab some of your yellow, and you're going to grab a little bit of blue, right? You're going to smash that on your canvas here, and then you're going to grab the tiniest amount of white. Right, and we're going to make this really pretty green color, all right? So you can make a pile of it if you want to, but I am just going to keep pulling yellow, blue, and white and having it just turn whatever it's going to turn into. You did too, Cinder? That's all right, guys. Lisa and Cinder all the way. Lisa and Cinder going all the way. No half measures with those ladies. They're going all the way. Alright, so you're going to take this blue, yellow, and white, and you're going to start at the top of your canvas, and very simply, like when you get to your yellow, you just want to do a flick. Alright, so I'm going to start on my side, and then when I hit my yellow right there, you just want to do a little flick inwards. Okay, so, or if you don't like the flick, you can turn your brush sideways and put in these jagged little edges sideways. It's totally up to you. But what you want to do, and be really, really careful you don't lose all your yellow, because that'd be really easy to do. So you can either, let me show you a close-up of what I just did, and I am just grabbing yellow, blue, and white. So let me give you a close-up of what I did. Close-up. Alright. So, yellow and blue and white are on my brush. I'm going on the edge of my canvas here. When I get to the point of where my yellow is, I want to do a flick. Just a flick inwards. And see how it makes all these little soft edges right there? That's what you want. If you can't get the flick down, you can turn your brush sideways, and you can put in jagged edges like that. Alright? So, whatever floats your boat, whatever way you like best. And you're just going to go straight down with this, okay? So, no worries. We're just going straight down with this on both sides. Okay? So, and you can go all the way down the bottom, Lisa and Cinder. All the way to the bottom. So, I'm just grabbing yellow, blue, and white. And we're just going in from the sides. And like I said, when you hit that yellow part, just do a little flick with your brush. Or do the zigzag. The zigzag. Whatever you prefer. Doesn't really matter. You know, just don't get too happy because you're going to, you can lose your yellow really, really, really fast. So this will swallow it right up. So just be careful that you're not going like all the way into your center, because then you're going to lose that yellow. And we don't want to lose the yellow. That's the one thing we don't want to do. You guys can go all the way down your canvas, but don't go all the way into the middle. Alright? Don't go all the way into the middle. We don't want you going into the middle. because we don't want to lose that pretty yellow. Hey, Lynn, how you doing, sweetie? That's all right. We really didn't do much. We didn't really do much. We did a yellow stripe down the center, and now we're doing green on either side. So you can definitely catch up mustard, Lynn. You can definitely catch up mustard with us, because we're not doing very much. Looks like I did a lot, but not really. Not really. Okay? Hey, Linda. All right, sweetie. Watch the replay, girl. That's all. Watch the replay. I'll give you a shout out when it's time for replay, peeps. All right? So, here we go. If you're chiming in late, that's okay. We really didn't do much. We did a yellow and white center. Boom. And then now we're just flicking in blue, yellow, and white into our yellow. Into our yellow. That's all we're doing. Catch you later, Linda. Catch you later, hon. Catch you later. That's all right. That's what the replays are for. Okay, so I'm just going to flick this in. I'm going to turn my brush, do a little zig-a-zag-a-zoom. All that happy stuff. No worries here. No worries. All right, and you guys were all stressing, how are you going to blend the yellow into the green? Well, that's how we're doing it. That's how we're doing it. Just like that. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. I bet you missed me saying that, right, Tammy and Julia? Lynn, you can still paint with us. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You have time to catch up mustard if you'd like to. Or if you want to just watch and hang out with the fam and then paint it later, you could do that too. Whatever you want. You do have time to catch up mustard though if you want to. We really didn't do anything. Yellow and white. Yep, so the center was yellow and white. And you're going to stop, unless you're Cinder and Lisa, you're going to stop about a hand from the bottom. I miss you guys too. I miss you tons. Oh, there's Mr. Butchers. I love it. I love it a lot. Butters is chiming in. He wants to be part of the party. I told you he might chime in. I told you. He wants to be part of the party. He wants to get in there. He wants to get in there. That's what he wants to do. So, he's telling us, right? He's saying, I like it a lot. There we go. Alright, almost there. Oh, no, Tammy. Yeah, so anybody that's in New Jersey and you want to take a road trip, tomorrow I'm going to be in Smithville. So, they're actually having Art Underground. I know, right? Butters is chiming in there. I think the neighbor came home. I don't know what he's barking at. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. He just wants to let me know the neighbor came home from work. That's all. That's what he wants to do. He's just kind of giving me a heads up. The neighbor's home. Thanks, Butters. Thanks. I'm glad you have my back, buddy. Thanks for having my back. Alright. So, there we go. Give you guys a minute to catch up mustard. If you want to paint your sides, go right ahead, paint your sides. Don't worry about this being full coverage. Coco's barking at Butters. Oh, that is hysterical, Megna. That is hysterical. Oh, that is great. I love it. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love it. Hey, Deborah, how you doing, sweetie? Were you creeping, Deborah? Deborah was creeping. Do you have the northern New Jersey accent, Deborah? Because that's the only way you're official. Hey, Amanda, how you doing, sweetie? Hi, love. How are you? How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. I'm surprised Cheesecake and Applesauce didn't start barking too. They usually bark at Butters. Butters is talking to everybody. He's just Mr. Popular for some reason. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, so once you got that done, you're going to put your brush in the water and you're going to get out your large fluffy. Your large fluffy. They did bark at him, Cinder. I love it. That's awesome. So, you're going to get out your large fluffy brush. And I got to figure out how to get more yellow paint. My yellow paint was not cooperating. I don't know if there's any crazy Canucks. I don't know what a crazy Canuck is. So if anybody was wondering, this is the paint I use. It's Blick acrylic, okay? And the yellow that I use is chrome yellow, all right? So if any of you were curious, that is the paint. That is the yellow I use. And all right, we're going to try to get some more paint on my palette here. Some reason the pump does not want to cooperate. Oh, Canadian, I got you. I got you. That's like speaking a foreign language. I don't know what that's all about. Alright, so you guys catch up mustard. And I actually gotta run to my bedroom to get my other bottle of paint. Because that yellow doesn't want to pour. I'm running, guys. Is the camera shaking? We're running. Alright, I'm back. That was fast, right? I'm so fast, I'm like the Flash. I'm the Flash. Oh, yeah. The only sports I follow is, and you know what? I really haven't even been I didn't even watch it that much actually this year. Is football. That's the only sports that I watch. Oh, I like hockey though. I like going to live hockey games. Those are fun. All right, wish me luck. I got another yellow paint. There you guys go. Talk all your Canadian language. I have no idea what you're saying. But, like I said, we're all together as a family, so. I'm making a mess, just to let you guys know. You're wondering what I'm doing over here? I'm making a mess. Yes, I like watching, I like going to hockey in person. That's always fun. So, alright, that's going to have to do for now until I have time to play with it some more. Alright guys, so swirl, tap, dab your large fluffy. And what you want to do with your large fluffy brush, is when you dab him, you want to mash him into your paper towel to get him nice and fluffy. Mash, 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 mash. Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, I guess that's all like on standby now. So you want to mash it in your paper towel so he's nice and fluffy. See that? Nice big fluffy brush. That's what we want. He's a stiff bristled brush and he's nice and fluffy. Okay? So, you're going to take this fluffy and we're going to do smushing. We're going to be smushing. Yep, that's what we're going to be doing. So, you want to turn around and take those same colors you were doing before, right? So, you want to turn around and now you're going to smush. Now you're going to smush and put all your greenery in. Alright? So, what you want to do, though, is I'm going to tell you how you have to smush. Because there's a way to smush. You don't just go smushing and think you're good. There's a way to smush. Okay? So, you want to make sure you have darks and lights. Alright? So, I'm going to grab my white. I'm going to grab my yellow, and I'm going to grab the smallest amount of blue. Right? I'm going to do a couple mush mush here. I'm not going to over mix it. I want to grab some more yellow because that's looking a little teal. Okay, so smush mush there. I'm not going to over mix it because the brush will do it. We're using a large fluffy tonight. It's the big guy. Okay, so a little bit of blue, yellow, lots of yellow, a little bit of white. So when you smush, you want to like stick and move, okay? Stick and move. And you can give a good mushing, you know what I mean? Like you can really just squish it on in there. And like I said, be careful because you don't want to lose all your yellow. So you want to kind of move in and move out. Move in, move out. Alright? And you're going to mash this whole top part. Okay? So, now see how I had the lighter shade going on of the yellow, a lot of yellow, white, and a little bit of blue? How that's giving me that lighter shade of green, right? Now, I add more blue, and I want to come in and smush some darker spots. Okay, so the secret is you want like dark and light spots going on. So you want to grab a lot of blue, right? And you want to come in and you want to make some darker areas like that. All right, so you can grab a lot of blue, kind of smush your brush all around. Both sides, people. You can do both sides. We can do both sides at once. It's all good. All right, and I'm going to keep smushing him until he runs out of paint. I'm going to keep smushing him until he runs out of paint. And then I'm going to, see, and then I'm smushing this around. Okay, so all I'm doing is mashing him into my canvas. That's all I'm doing. And once I run out of paint, hey, Tracy, happy Friday! Woo-hoo! Okay, once I run out of paint on him, I'm going to grab just my yellow and my little bit of white because there's still some blue on him. And I'm going to come in and do the lighter color now. Okay, and then you're going to smash that in. And you want to smash it a little bit into your dark and a little bit out. A little bit into your dark, a little bit out. So this way it all blends together. I know the big scary word, blend. All you do is smush into the dark part and then work your way out. And like I said, take it easy. Take it easy on this yellow edge. Take it easy. Okay, and I'm just doing this all on the top part. So if this is halfway, a little bit above halfway. Okay, that's where you're doing all your smushing right now. So halfway and up. All right, don't be smushing the whole thing all the way down. We don't want that. We don't want that. We just want halfway up. Tracy's here. Hey, Tracy. I don't know where that red came from, but you know what? I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna rock and roll with it. I just wound up with some sort of purpley crazy tree in my landscape. Boy, I'm a mess tonight, right? I got yellow paint everywhere. I literally have two big things of paint, and neither pump is working for my yellow paint. Now, somehow or another, I just got red in my green painting. So, but I'm going to rock and roll with it. I'm going to rock and roll with it. Why not, right? It's trees. Trees come in all different colors. I'm not going to stress it. I'm not going to stress it. It's all good. It's all good. All good, all right? So you make sure you don't get happy and wind up going further down. You don't want to go further down. Okay? And you're just going to play. Just play with your smushes and make sure you're doing darker areas and lighter areas. Very, very, very important. And you're going to stick and move. Smush it and keep it moving. Stick and move, stick and move. Smush it, keep it moving. Okay, very, very important to get those darker areas. And if you smush too much, you're going to lose the texture because everything's going to wind up blending together. So you don't want to smush too much. Okay? And you want to make sure that you don't have like a crazy amount of paint on your brush. Just a little will do you. Just a little will do you just fine. I think that's a commercial. And I'm getting all these fun colors because I'm just playing around. I'm playing around with that blue, yellow, and white. We're going to get all these fun little colors happening. You want to make sure you have your darks and your lights. Right? Go in, you know, smush back and forth between the two of them to get it to all blend together. We're very technical here. We're very technical. We're smushing. Tracy, you came in just in time for the smushing. Just in time for the smushing part. That's what we're doing. We're smushing away. Alright, so make sure you have your dark areas, your light areas, and then you mush between the two of them to get it a little blended, okay? And then towards the bottom, everybody listen. Listen up, because I know you're all zoned out smushing. Towards the bottom, add the dark blue. Alright, so when you get to the bottom, when you're halfway, grab the blue on your dirty brush and make this all like a dark blue color. Not like a dark blue, but you know what I'm saying. Make it darker. And I'm going up, I'm going down, I'm going all around. We're going all sorts of directions here. All sorts of directions. Okay, so you want that to be the darker color on the bottom. And I literally grab my paint and then I mash off to the side. So this way it's in my brush, nice and nice. Nice and nice. Not just one nice, couple of nices. I'm so excited for tonight. You guys have no idea how happy you're making me tonight. I'm so happy that Tammy and Julie are here, and Lisa and Cinder made it. It's like all the fam is here now, you know, and Hannah stopped in to say hi. And we got some new people on tonight joining our fam, so this is so awesome. This is so awesome. We got our Canadian friends all talking Canadian sort of stuff. I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're here, guys. Yes. Yes, I am. Alright, so I'm going to stop smushing because it's going to start getting all mushed together and you're not going to be able to see a difference. Hi, Asif. How you doing, hon? Aw, thank you, Jen. Thank you so much for that. I hope I'm helping. I hope, right? Gives us something to do, have some fun, right? Why not on a Friday night? Go for it. Go for it. Asif is here. Okay. So, once you have that in, hi, sweetheart. Once you have that in, I want you to grab your, keeping your brush dirty. I didn't clean my brush yet. This is all dirty work. We're doing it all dirty. Okay? So, once you get that part in, I want you to grab your blue and yellow and a little bit of white, like equal parts of blue and yellow. Okay? So you get a different color than this, like a little lighter color. And I want you on these little corners here. Alright, this little corner right here on either side. Hey, Sharon. Hello, sweetheart. So let me move you back a little bit. There you go. So on these little corners here, and if I get my thumb out of the way, you're going to smush like those little corners right there. Okay? So you just want to smush those in. Those two little corners. One there. One on this side. Alright, guys? So, we want this a little bit, you know, if it winds up being the same color, it's okay. We're going to cover this all with flowers, so don't worry about the color too much. But I want you to get that angle in there. Alright? I want you to get that angle in there of fluff. That's what I want you to do. Okay? So, make sure you get that angle of fluff in there. I'm going to make mine really dark so you can see it. But you don't have to make yours as dark. I'm just doing mine really dark so you can see it, alright, guys? But you don't need to make that dark. I want you to put an angle that way, and I want you to put an angle on this side. Okay? Easy peasy. What is it, Julia? Julia's in the house. She knows what it is. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's right. That's right. Look at you guys making trees and stuff. You guys are experts. I like it. I like it a lot. There you go, Cal. I just did that off the fly, too. I wasn't even trying to do it. Oh, hello, everybody. All right. So, once you have that in there, you're going to come down to your bottom. Tequila squeezy. Yep, I did it. You caught me. So, once you have all that done, you're going to come down here. Even though Cinder and Lisa have yellow right here, you guys should have white. And you're going to grab mostly white, mostly yellow, right? So clean, just mash your brush off on your paper towel. Just take your brush, since it has a lot of blue in it, mash it off in your paper towel. We're still not cleaning this guy. So if you're cleaned them, you're not going to get all the fun stuff that we're getting, because we want all that fun stuff in our brush still. It makes the magic happen. But I'm just going to get the big globs out of them. Alright, so I'm going to wipe them off there. And I'm going to grab my white. And I'm going to grab my yellow. And I'm grabbing the dirty stuff. I don't care. It could be a little dirty from all that mashing and stuff I did. We're not being particular. Just white and yellow. And you're going to come in on either side of this green part, on this white part. And you're going to turn around and do a hump to hump. Hump there. And a hump here. Alright? Do the hump to hump, guys. Do the humpty hump. And then you just want to kind of swish back and forth and bring it down. Just swish back and forth. I didn't grab any more paint. I'm letting whatever's going to come out. We're all happy, hunky-dory with it. And you can have your hill as drastic as you want it to be, or kind of mellow. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm grabbing my white, and I'm grabbing my yellow, and I'm just going over this. And then if it's coming out too light, then you can grab a little bit of blue. It depends on what your paint is still. Do you want this to be a lighter green than this? That's the point. So these two humps are a lighter green than this green right here. Okay? So now I have blue. It's going to be one of those nights, people. Jen, I definitely don't have my ducks in a row tonight. It's going to be one of those nights. But it's all good. Good thing I know how to paint. I just fixed that right up right there. See that? No worries. No worries. I got red in my trees. I got blue in my grass. It's one of those nights. That's okay. It's all good. I'll be alright. I'm not too stressed about it. Not too stressed about it. Okay. Big Fluffy, go in the water now. Put that bad boy in the water. Alright, I'll give you guys a minute to catch up, mustard. Give you guys a minute to catch up, mustard. Alright, so far so good. You guys are doing awesome. No mistakes in art, that's right, Magna. AC, we're all magicians on here tonight. If I can learn how to talk, we're all magicians. So I'm giving you guys a minute or two. I'm going to come over here and play with my yellow paint again. Don't be surprised if I come back with like a huge splotch across my chest. It could happen. It could happen. The possibilities are definitely there. It's definitely there. Could definitely happen. So you guys want to make sure you have some clean yellow paint for the next step, okay? Make sure you have some clean yellow paint. I had no idea what, I have no idea what the malfunction is over here, but we're going to make it work somehow or another. That's going to be my project later. So, and I just whoosh yellow paint where I hold my palette. So I'm going to have to do something about that. That's for sure. Alright, you guys are there? So, now we need to make some brown, okay? So, we're going to make some brown. So, we're going to take out Big Boy. We're going to swirl tap that Big Boy. We're going to swirl tap that Big Boy. Alright? And we're going to make some brown. So, you want to grab that dirty yellow that you had going on, right? You can grab some of that dirty yellow. It's okay. And you want to grab some red. So, yellow and red. Right? You're going to get an orange. Okay? And then you're going to add some white to it. Add some white to it. Now you're going to get like a peach. Alright? And then you're going to grab the smallest amount of black paint. The smallest amount of black paint. Okay? I'll never forget when Hannah and Dustin first painted with us and we did a beach and they had to make brown and they were having like the hardest time with it. That was like the first memories with them. And the first memories with Megna is when you did the cherry blossom tree and you typed over the thing that you were like, this is the best tree ever. Ever since then. That was awesome. Yep. And then we had Julia singing at our Christmas Zoom special. You guys remember that? That was awesome. Julia's an amazing singer, guys. Amazing. And Tammy's a Girl Scout leader. So she just went through cookie fiasco. We have to send prayers to Tammy and Julia, though. Alright, so you just keep adding more black until you get the dark brown color that you're happy with. Alright, and if you went overboard, just grab more yellow, grab more red, grab more white. It's okay. Okay, so you just want to make sure you get the dark brown that you're happy with. Alright, so I'm going to load that all up on my brush. It was at Christmas, Cinder. I did a Zoom Christmas special. Yeah, Julia totally needs to sing again. All right, so since my brush is really, really, really messy, I'm going to go and do the brown down here, okay? So, I'm just zigzag zooming. I'm just zigzag zooming. All right, so I'm holding my brush horizontal, and I'm going in and out of those two grassy hills that I made. Okay, so I'm just smushing my brush to get all that paint off of it from mixing my paint. And then I'm going to zigzag zoom across. So I'm just going like this with my brush. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, Cinder. So I did a Fireside Santa Christmas special for Zoom. I think the video is out there somewhere. I'm not really sure. Because Julie and Tammy are my technical guys. So you're just going to zigzag zoom that sucker right in there. That's what you're going to do. Okay? Going to get our path in there for our little ducks. Our little ducks. Alright. So, once you have that, and now your brush is pretty much cleaned off. Oh, Cynthia, thanks for asking, hon. So, how did my show go? My show went very well. I did post a video of it on the event page, which I did share to this page. That's awesome, Cinder. You're probably an excellent singer. So there is a video of my show on the event page. I did like a little mini Facebook Live. So parents watch it first, though, because it's it's kind of adult subject. So you might want to watch it first, okay? And before you let the kiddos check it out. So they can check out the art, maybe with the sound off, but my explanation of the art touches upon certain things in my life, so that's up to you. Use your discretion. But my show went very well, and if you'd like to take a sneak peek at it, I posted pictures of all the paintings on the event, and I posted a short little Facebook Live on the event, and I did share that event to this business page. And if you can't find it, you can go to Facebook Eve's Artistry. Thank you, Cinder. You watched it? Thanks, hon. Yep. So check it out, guys. If you can't find it on this page, look for the event at Eve's Artistry. Facebook on Eve's Artistry. All right, so now that my brush is nice and flat and thin, and I'm just going to give it an extra little wipe. Thank you, Cinder. Thank you so much. We're going to come in here and we're going to zigzag zoom our land in, okay? So you're going to come all the way back here, and if you want it to connect, you can connect it. If you don't want it to connect, you don't have to connect it. It's up to you. So if you want the water to start right there, you can leave it open, or if you want the land to connect, you can connect the land. So it's connecting in my original, but I think for tonight I'm going to leave it open. I'm going to leave it open. I think that's what I want to do. So now brown's kind of tricky, so you kind of have to just like own it, like put it on there and we'll leave it alone, because brown is one of those that if you keep like playing with it, it's going to wind up lifting back off again. I don't know why it does that. I really don't. So all you're doing is like this. Don't go like this. Don't just smear it in like that. You want to go back and forth down the whole line of those green angles you made, okay? Don't just draw a curve in there. You want to go back and forth. Everything with water is across or down. There's nothing to do with angles. And since this is the coastline, it has to be across. So I'm just wiggling back and forth and working my way down. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to start back here, and this is going to be like really small. And then as you work your way down, you can make the coastline bigger and bigger because it's getting closer to you. Okay? So you're just going to zigzag a zoom. You're just going to zig-a-zag a zoom. Well, like I said, if you want it to meet in the middle, you can have it meet in the middle. If you don't have to either. In the original, it's meeting in the middle with some like greenery right there. It's up to you. It's your world. It's your pond. It's your ducks. Whatever you want to do. It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. Your world. All right. And once you have that in there, you want to do your little island. You want to do your little island. So if your hill is here, okay, and you have all this nice going on, like kind of right here where those two meet, you want to do your little island. And all I did was grab some of my brown paint, and I just did a little swoopy-doop. That's all. Just a little swoopy-doop. See that? I put my brush on here, and I just pulled upwards, and then I pulled downwards, and then I pulled out. And you want to give like a little zigzag. You could do that. You know, do a little zigzag so you get some corners on that island. Alright, so you just want to put that in. Bam. Just like that. Easy peasy. You just made an island, people. I'm telling you, the skills are astounding. There we go. Alright, when you're done with that, you're going to put Big Boy in the water. And I'll let you know what we're doing next. So, it's a roll call time. Roll call. Oh, yeah. You guys know I love roll call. Cynthia, you going to watch later? All right, sweetheart. Okay. So Cynthia's on the replay. Linda's going to be watching the replay. I got to write this down so I say hi to you at the end. All right. We have Lynn, Cheryl, Lisa, Rhonda, Kristen, which is my actual name. Woohoo! Roll call. Kathy's first time here. Everybody give a big hello to Kathy. Selena in the house. Ginny's back. Kelly's here. Calpana. Kel. We have a Kelly and a Kel. We have Rhonda, Tammy and Julia, my loves. Megna in the house. Oh, yeah. First time Kim's painting, so let's give a shout out to Kim. We got Jen and Cinder. Cinder, my goober, my fellow goober. And Deborah and Amanda and Asif. And if I missed you, you're creeping and you should say hello. Because I think I did pretty good. I think I did pretty good with that. Canada in the house. We're international, baby. That's right. Me Mimi's here. What is birding? You said you were out birding. What is birding? I don't know what that is. Is that like just like watching the birds? Because I like to do that. Thanks, Kelly. Hi, Julie. Julie was creeping. Julie. Denise was creeping. Nancy, I didn't even see you, hon. I'm sorry, love. You know I wouldn't miss you. Denise was creeping. She came back for more torture. This is her second time here. Hi, Denise. Nancy, I didn't see you, sweetie. Hi, Nancy. My fancy Nancy. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, all right. All right. So you got to see all, like, the big old, like, flocks of birds, like, migrating through. That's kind of cool. I have 2 bird feeders out front, and I like to watch that happen. All right, so you're going to swirl, tap, dab your medium fluffy now. Is it your 3rd time here, Asif? Hey, Teresa. Teresa's a little creeper, too. Hi, Teresa. I like how you spell your name. Asif coming back for more torture 3 times. 3 times the charm. 3 times. Alright, so you're going to grab your medium-sized fluffy, swirl, tap, dab him. Alright, you don't have to worry about the mashing part too much, but get them nice and dry, because they hold a lot of water. Make sure it's nice and clean, no dirty towel. Sue from Boston is here. Boston. Sue from Boston. This is where I'm going to do a really bad Boston accent. Okay, so we got our small fluffy going on. All right, and I want you to grab clean yellow paint. Clean yellow paint, not too much. So wipe it off. Wipe it off. You just want a little bit of paint on this bad boy, okay? Worcester in the house. I used to say that as I know it's Worcester. Isn't it Worcester? Something like that. It's very weird. Hey, Lizzie. How you doing, sweetie? Worcester. I used to say that as Worcester. And then when I was little, I used to say Worcestershire, like the sauce. Okay. So just your yellow paint, not a lot on your brush. And you're going to come in here and you're going to do magic. So you're going to do these dabs on your leaves. You're going to do these dabs on your leaves that are close to the sun. And all of a sudden, they're going to get a yellow glow to them. So you just want to do the ones that are edging on the center there. Just the ones edging on the center. And then you kind of go back and forth to make that a nice bold yellow in the middle. Alright, so you're grabbing just yellow paint, a little bit on your brush. Massachusetts, like, sounds like it's, I was there once, and it was amazing. And not to sound cliche, I went to the harbor. Alright, so I'm just scribbling. I'm just scribbling and squishing and putting these little dabs of yellow, like where the sun might actually hit. And you're just using the yellow paint, very little, a little bit, just a little bit. How much? A little bit. Hardly any at all. Hardly any at all. And you're going to smush all this yellow. And it's going to look amazing. If you're painting with craft paint, add a little bit of water to it. Because craft paint tends to be more opaque. Okay? So add a little water to it if you're painting with craft paint. And you're going to add all this beautiful yellow glow to all of your greenery that's on the edge here. Living on the edge. We're living on the edge, right? So, and if you want to put a few dabs, like going in more, you can. You know, if you want to put a little something in here, like the light snuck through and is bouncing off of something, you can do it. Go for it. Why not? All right, but you want to make sure you leave some of these dark areas in between, okay? Don't get too happy. So if you don't have the dark, right? So cool. This is painting magic right now. If you don't have the dark, you're not going to see the light. All right, so stick and move. Leave some of these dark areas in here. Because if you don't have the dark, you're not going to have the light. Okay? All right, so you want to put all this in. Oops, too much paint. Too much paint. So if you grab too much paint, you know what you do? You just take your paper towel and you smush it around. See that? That's how much we worry about stuff like that. Okay? I'm just going to put some more here. Just like that, we made our plants glow. That easy. And then I'm just going to put some more yellow in here. I'm going to put some more yellow in where my water is. Why not? Right? Soften those lines out. I'm going to soften those lines out. Why not? Right? So, and if you hear me scrubbing, that's because I have hardly any paint on my brush. There's like hardly any paint on my brush at, like, I'm mostly just pushing around just a little bit of paint. And I'm just going to soften my lines out in my water. I'm just going to soften these out. Why not? Why not, right? Why not? Soften that all out right there. And you hear me scrubbing? That's because I don't have any paint on here. I'm just pushing around this little bit of paint that I started with. Hardly any paint at all. Okay? Now I'm not going to put it here because the trees on the island aren't going to let the glow through. But I'm going to put a little over here. And put some over here. Okay? So, just like that. And you kind of just brush over it, soften it out. You brush over this, soften this out when your brush is empty. Okay, just soften it all up. Easy peasy. So Julia, how's the driving and how's work going, love? All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to get out Tiny. You're going to get out your tiny brush, your small round brush, and you can use your brown or you can use your black and make sure it's nice and thin and loose. You don't want it goopy. All right? And then you're going to come in here, close up, and I'll show you on this side. So, I'm going to go above those blue ones that I made. I'm going to go above these. And here, there, not everywhere. And you can hold this like a pencil. And you want thin lines, and pushing harder doesn't create more paint coming out. You got to keep refilling your brush, okay? You want it nice and thin. So make sure you keep checking your point. And you're just going to turn around and you're going to put in a little hint of trees back in here. So I'm going to put like a line there, and then I'm going to skip, and then I'm going to put like another line here like it's poking through up there. Now I got to grab more paint. See that? I got 2 lines and I need to grab more paint. I'm going to put another one there. Maybe put like a little elbow off of it. So you want to put these in, and you can put as many in or as little as you want. And then I'm going to come up in here in this part, and I'm going to put some in here. Maybe we don't see the whole tree. We just see a couple of its branches. We don't know where that's coming from. Maybe it's coming from all the way down there, that tree right there. Work is good. I'm really loving it. My coworkers are really nice, and I go for my road test next month. Gotta practice parallel parking. Oh, yeah. I think the whole world needs to practice parallel parking. That's what I think. Alright, so you're going to put all these little hints of trees coming in here, however you want to do them. And I kind of like go in between blotches of color. So see how I went from like in between the blue, then I stopped when I hit blue, And then I started up over here and I stopped when I hit the blue. And now I have to wipe off my brush and grab more paint. So you constantly, you can either use brown or black, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. You can either use brown or black. It's up to you. I'm using brown. So, but you have to make sure you keep wiping your brush off and keep making sure you have a point on this. And you have to make sure that your paint is nice and loose. If it's not, add a little bit of water to it. Okay, so if it's not nice and loose, add a little bit of water to it. And it's up to you whether you want to use your brown or your black. Doesn't really matter. And you don't have to connect these. They don't have to be connected to anything. Okay, Kim, no worries. So we're using tiny. We're using our small round brush. You can either use black or brown paint, whatever you're more comfortable with. You want to make sure it's nice and loose and thin so it's flowing. And we're just putting in the hints of trees being in the back. So you want to jump over that big blue bush that you made. And you're going to come up into here. And we're just doing like some straight lines, maybe some elbows off of them. You know, maybe if you want like a really big tree, you could put a big thick brown one right there. You know, so if you put a big thick brown one though, you know, you kind of want to follow that through. So I'm going to come up in here. Right, so I'm skipping over, so it looks like the leaves are in front of it. You know, it's just a hint. It's just a hint. So here, there, not everywhere. Here, there, not everywhere. Okay? Hi, Kim. Yeah, let it dry, Kim. You can paint right over it, hon. There's 2 Kims on here. Hi, Kim. Kim's going to be watching the replay. Let it dry, hon. Let it dry, and then you can schmooze it once it dries. Just let it dry. It's all good. It's all good. No worries. Yeah. So you just got to make sure that you're doing a very light touch. I'm holding it like a pencil. I have a very thin point. My paint is nice and loose and thin, and it's flowing nicely. If you notice, I'm moving my hand, not the brush, to make my straighter lines. So it is all good. And if you can't get the trees in there, who cares? There's no trees. No trees in this world. You want trees? Go to somebody else's world. I don't know what to tell you. There's no trees in my world. They're all just really big bushes. Why not? Right? Why not? Kim, you're not catching a break, are you, hon? Alright. We'll check you later, sweetie. We'll check you later. If you have any questions, you just message me, alright, hon? No worries. No worries. Alright. So, now I put a tree coming down into this part. I put a tree coming down into this part, right? So what I want to do is that when I hit my water, I want to put the idea of that. So I'm going to put a little bit of brown on there. I'm going to pull down with my finger and then go across. And there's my reflection. Okay, so if you put something like near your water's edge, you know, you can totally do that. You're going to pull down, make like the same shape, very light touch, and then just pull your finger over it, and then do your finger sideways. And that'll soften it out. Okay, so that's up to you. You don't have to get that tricky if you don't want to. It's all up to you. Just something fun to try. If you want. No worries. No worries. Alright, so I'm going to add a few more of these. A few more of these. And then we're going to get to the fun stuff. We're going to get to our ducks and our fence and our flowers and our pretty trees. We're going to get to all that fun stuff. That's what we're going to do. Alright, let's move you back a little bit. Okay, and just like that, you guys made a forest. You're so good. You are so good. And once you have that, you're going to turn around on your island. Alright, I'm grabbing my brown color, using my small brush. You want to move your hand, not the brush. So you just want to turn around and put wherever your trees are coming out. So if you need to add, I'm going to add a little bit of black to this brown. So they're nice and dark and I can see them against everything else that's going on. Okay. So I got brown and black on my brush. And I'm just going to put my tree trunk in. I'm going to move my hand, not the brush. There it is. Swoop, there it is. Okay, and I'm grabbing some black paint and making it darker so I can really see it. If you notice, I'm moving my hand, not the brush, so I can get a nice tree trunk line going there. And then I'm going to put my other tree in. I gotta lift my hand a little bit though to make sure I don't smear that other one. Make sure we don't get no schmears. We don't want no schmears. And this is very dark. I made a very dark brown because I grabbed some black with my brown paint. Alright. And you move your hand, not the brush. Okay, and then once you have that line in there for yourself, then you can schmooze it up a little bit. Then you could move like your brush and kind of just do a little schmooze. Whatever you need to do. Alright? And what you're going to do is once you have those lines in, very light touch coming right into your water, okay? So very light touch. You're going to go swoop right where that one is. And swoop where that one is. Very light touch. Make sure the thickness matches. It's the same thickness. Okay, and you don't have to worry about the paint covering it all the way. You know, very little bit amount of paint. It doesn't have to be a solid line. In fact, the non-solid line will be even better. And once you do that, you're just going to pull your finger over the top to smush it out. Soften it out. Once you soften it out, you're going to go across. And just like that, you have your reflections of your trees. So you want to use a very small amount of paint. Extremely small amount of paint, guys, on the reflection of the tree trunks, okay? A small amount of paint. Make sure they're lined up. Make sure the thickness is the same. Once you kind of put that on there, very lightly, very small amount of paint, you're just going to take your finger and drag it down. Get all the excess off, see? And then you can just go across like this. Alright, we're very technical here. We use finger paints. And then I'm going to go to the top part of my tree. And I'm going to follow along my tree trunk, and then I'm just going to pull out. Okay? I'm going to follow along my branch now, and I'm going to pull out. Right? And if this winds up being thick, you got to go back, make this thicker, make that thicker, make that thicker. And then a light touch, you can make that thicker too. Okay? That's how you get your trees proportional. So if you wind up with that really thick line, that's alright. And we're not too worried about this because we're going to smush some really pretty colors on these. So we're not going to worry. And you're not going to see the reflection of them because we already hit our hill. We already hit our hill. If I can learn how to talk. Okay? So I'm not too worried about this. I'm just kind of getting a little basic of a shape here. That fancy tree I made, I'm going to wind up covering it up. That's alright. Okay? So I just want to put some branches. So when I do those smushes later of the pretty colors, I have something to smush on top of. Okay, guys? Alright, so ketchup mustard. And then we're going to do our fence and map out our ducks. And then put all our flowers in. And we're going to be all set. How easy is that, right? Can't get easier than that. If you guys need me to repeat anything, let me know. I don't mind repeating anything if you need anything repeated. Poor Kim can't seem to catch a break. She's trying to paint and she has her husband calling and somebody's coming to the door. But your paint had to dry anyway. And Kim C is here. She's going to be checking out the replay. I got to put you on the replay list, Kim C. Kim C is going to be checking out the replay. She's a new painter. And how's Kathy doing? You know how Kim's doing. Kim's having all these distractions. How's Kathy doing? Right? Of course he calls when you're busy. That's just like Butters barking in the middle of my video. That's just like Butters barking in the middle of my video. So guys, I want to give you a heads up because I feel really bad, but like if you are having trouble getting on my live and you go to message me, I can't help you because I can't go off on my live to answer a message. I tried that the one day and we lost sound and it got all messed up. Kathy's doing pretty good. Kim, that's a big list of distractions. But you know what? It's giving your paint a chance to dry, so you're going to be all good. You're not going to have a big muddy mess anymore, that's for sure. That's for sure. Deb, you got caught? You got caught by your hubby? You're trying to get a tattoo and you got caught? That's hysterical. That is hysterical. How's my fan doing? Cinder, Lisa, Tammy, Julia, how you guys doing? Oh, Kim, you're fine. Deb totally got caught. Kim, don't worry about it, hon. Just have fun. It's your first time ever painting. Have fun with it. No worries. We all have to start somewhere. You all have to start somewhere. Kathy, you keep adding more paint. Lynn's finally ketchup mustard. All right, Lynn. That's cool, Kim. Lisa's redoing her bottom. I need to redo my bottom. Oh, awesome, Deb. Oh, Cinder. Tell Cheesecake and Applesauce to knock it off. Aye, Jen. Aye. That's okay, Lisa. Because we're going to add flowers and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, if you got to do them green, do it. And you redid a lot too, Cinder. Bye, Kelly. Thanks for popping by. It's all good. I know you and Lisa redo it all. All right, Kelly. Oh, Cinder. They're making a mess for you tonight. They're misbehaving. They're bad little babies tonight. They're bad little babies. And Deb, welcome to the family, hon. Welcome to the family, babe. We got a newbie in the house. First time Deb's here. We got first time Kim and Kathy and Deb and Asif has only been here 3 times. We got new fam. We got old fam. We got all sorts of fam. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to move to swirl, tap, dab that tiny. Get them nice and clean. Get them nice and cleaned off. Get all that brown and black and whatnots off of them. Alright, get all that wonderful stuff off of them. Get them nice and clean. Joanne's a newbie. Hi, Joanne. Welcome to the fam, Joanne. Joanne's a newbie. She was creeping the whole time. Hi, sweetheart. Magna Patrol on a roll. You can't take a pizza break. You're supposed to keep all these people's track. Lizzie's a little stuck, but I'll get there. I don't like my brown. What colors do you get? You're blackish. I just did brown and black together, hun. That's all I did. Just make sure it's nice and thin and loose. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Joanne. No pizza break, Magna. I need you on patrol on a roll. Sharon coming back for more torture. Nice. I like it. 2 times, Sharon. 2 times. Sharon coming in for more torture. Yeah, Lizzie, it's just, I just did some brown and black, but you got to make sure that your paint is really loose. Julie's a newbie. Hi, Julie. Julie's here. Julie, we have another Julie. We have a Julia and a Julie. You can paint them whatever colors you're painting. Sometimes I do a black trim. It's all up to you. If you used a lot of paint with your smushing, like if your smushing's not dry, you're not going to be able to do any of this. Okay, so if you did a lot of smushing and your paint is really, really wet still, like all this part, guys, Amanda and Kim and everybody's saying it's looking muddy and mushy it was too much paint on the smushing. So you won't be able to do any of this if this is all still wet. You have to let this dry, okay? And any of this that I'm doing now, you can add later. It's all good. And you just want to make sure that this part right here is dry, because this is what we're going to be working on, the bottom part this whole time. So this whole spot will have a chance to dry off, okay? And Cinder uses a blow dryer. Alright, Magna's still Magna Patrol on a roll, even though she's stuffing her face with pizza right now. Alright, so we're going to take that tiny brush and we're going to do a close-up. You want to make sure you have white paint. Nice, clean white paint. Amanda's got the blow dryer out. Alright, so we're gonna map in our little ducks, okay? So I'm just grabbing my small brush and I'm grabbing white paint. And we're just gonna work it like a pencil, okay? So make sure this is all dry. This is all dry for you, the path. Make sure the path is dry so you guys can paint on it. And don't worry about any of this. All of you first-time painters, it's okay. You just had a little too much paint on your mushing. You were having a good old time. So just leave it alone. Let it dry, and then you can add all your twigs later. It's all good. Okay, so we're going to come down towards the bottom of our canvas here, and we're going to go on the side of the path. And I want you to draw an oval. Okay, and if you can't draw an oval, do a parentheses and a parentheses. And then you could always fix it when you fill it in. So you're going to fill it in. Alrighty? So if you couldn't get a good shape, just trying to draw the shape, then just fix it as you're filling it in. That's all you need to do. Okay? So you're going to put that in there. Bam. Just like that. They're not mixing, Lizzie? Oh, I don't know why they're not mixing. It's okay, Lisa. When you do your second and third coat, it'll darken it right up. Bye, Kathlena. Thank you for joining us. Oh, yeah, don't put it too close to the canvas, guys. It'll crack your paint. Good looks, Denise. Good looks. Don't put the blow dryer too close. All right, Kathlena, catch the replay to finish up. Yeah, brown will do that, Lisa. So just put another layer on it once it dries. Brown is that funny thing. It winds up being see-through, and then if you keep trying to ducky mapping, that's what we're doing. If you keep trying to paint over it, it winds up lifting off. All right, so once you have this oval in, you're going to just drop down 2 little pieces like this. Nice and small. Nice and small, because the more you play with it, the bigger it's going to get. Okay, so nice and small. Yeah, good looks on that one, Denise. All right, so nice and small, you're going to pull down like that. And then you're going to come out from the one side and the other side and do like a little teardrop. You're going to do like a little teardrop. Yeah, guys, if you're worried about your twigs, your trees, any of the smushy stuff, just let it be. Brown is annoying. It's the best way I can put it. Brown is very annoying, and if you keep trying to paint over it, it's going to wind up lifting off. So it's one of those things where you have to deal with it being see-through, let it dry, and put another coat. And then if you can still see through it, let it dry, put another coat, or cheat and use black. So don't stress it. Have fun with it. Let's paint our little ducks in our nice little dry area. And then when we're doing our finishing touches, you guys can go back and add all the twigs and limbs and trees and anything that you want to add, because it's one of those, it's a patience test. Brown is definitely a patience test. All right, so no worries about that. Okay, so once you have this little teardrop going on, you're going to come over on this side and put a wing, and then kind of just fill that in right there. All right, and then you're going to come on this side and put a line for a wing, and then kind of fill in that space right there. All right, so it's just the space at the bottom there. That's all you want to do. Okay. Wipe off your brush, because you probably have globby, goopy, globbies going on. And then you're going to come to the bottom of your teardrop. And you're going to go from the center. And you're going to pull along and drop a little triangle in here. I'm going to drop a little triangle right there. Okay, so you want to follow this down and have that go to a triangle, and then follow the bottom part here and have that go into like a triangle right there, okay? And then up on his face, on the side that has the triangle, you want to follow around the side of his face and then just put a little bump. A little bump right there. Okay? Just a little tiny bump. That's it. And then you could smush in the white a little bit better. Since this duck is white, you know, we're going to need a few coats of white on him. And I'm going to show you how to put the little bit of the shadows on him. On her. Mama duck. Okay. So now we're going to go to our ducklings. We're going to go to little ducklings. And you guys can make as many as you want, or as little as you want, or make the same amount as me. It's up to you. So again, we're back to shape. So about the middle of the path, right behind Mama Duck here. We're going to do a little oval. Right, a smaller one this time. And then you're going to do that teardrop like we did before. And then you're going to do a wing and a wing. And you want to come down and pull down this way and pull down that way. And then just smush in like a little triangular part. I'm just smushing. I'm not counting toes. I'm not making them perfect or tiny. So we just want something to put orange on, okay? So no worries. No worries. All right, wipe your brush off. Give it a good swirl, tap, dab. Get all the globs off of it. All that good stuff. Okay, next duck is behind him over here. Again, we're going to do an oval. And this is the one that's squawking. This is the one that's squawking. All right, so he's squared at, he's a little more squared at the bottom, so you want to like square him off. Okay, he looks like a Hershey's Kiss body. Little Hershey Kiss body going on there. And then his wings are going to come like straight out. Because he's acting up. He's acting up. So he's got his wings coming like straight out. And I keep wiping my brush off. I keep making sure I have a nice thin point. Make sure you don't have any like problems here. Okay, and then I'm going to do his beak coming out like that. And then again, his legs are more spread out, so you're going to go on either side of this part. And then just do some little mushes. Just do some little mushes. So this, to be able to do this, guys, you have to make sure your brush has a very small point. You're keeping it at a small point. Okay, so you have to keep wiping it off, and you have to keep redipping into your paint, and you have to make sure your paint is nice and loose and thin and flowing nice and easy. If you wound up with the skin on top of your white paint, just, you know, like move that over and get to the good stuff underneath. Or if you have to add a little bit of water, add a little bit of water. So, because if you have globs on your brush, you're going to get globs on your painting. It's as simple as that. I know Magna, Julia, Tammy, Lisa, Cinder. How many times you guys hear me say that one, right? All the time. All the time. All right. So, the next guy, he's over here. So, he's like between these two and up this way. And we got a little, like a teardrop head. He's got like a pointy head. He's like the, you know, he's the one, that you got to explain stuff to a few times. He's that brother. And then he really has a teardrop body. Okay? And you don't see his wings. And then his feet are really close to his body. So I'm just going to do some mushing right there. Just going to do some mushing. Okay. The next guy is up over here. You know, make sure you're giving yourself enough room. I kind of lost room for that guy. He came out really, really tiny. Tammy, I love it. I love it. Put that chameleon up in that tree. I wanted to do all sorts of critters, but we would have been here for 2 days. But you can add all sorts of critters. I wanted to put like a deer right here. I wanted to do all sorts of things. So you guys get creative in your own world. So make sure you leave enough room, because I just had to make this guy really small because I didn't leave myself enough room. All right, so make sure you spread your ducks out. And if you notice, guys, our ducks aren't in a row. They're not in a row. They're all a big mess. Okay, so this guy, he has a circular head. And his teardrop body. Mapping the ducklings. Oh, yeah. Okay, could do a little wing action. Boop, boop, boop. Some wings. And you want to draw his feet come down. So 2 little lines. Jen, I love it. Yeah, that's probably, it's probably perfect. Because like I said, he's the one you have to explain stuff to a lot. And then I'm going to do a little smush, smush, smush. Smush, smush, smush. I can't wait to see your guys' ducklings. They're going to be epic. I love it. It's going to be awesome. Come on, we're painting ducklings, baby. That's what I'm talking about. How could you not have fun doing this, right? Seriously. Rubber ducky, you're the one. Aha, you guys are all going to get that stuck in your head now. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, you're the only one for me. All right, so now the other guy's in the water. So that's he's ratting out. If you didn't know that, he's ratting out to Mom that he's still in the water. That's what's going on there. So you're going to do a little swoop, swoop. And a swoop this way, swoop. Some swoop swooping going on. And then we're going to do our oval over here. Swoop swooping. He is the snitch, Jen. That's right. And you're going to keep your day job, Joanne? I shouldn't be singing. I could see the attendance on here go all the way down to like 5 people once I start singing. All right, so this guy over here, his beak's coming out this way. Doop. And this guy over here, his beak's coming out this way, down like at a point there, that way. All right. And we got the squawker going on. Okay, so now that you have the white on your brush, right, we're going to go back up in here. So let me back this up a little bit. And we're just going to zigzag zoom. We're going to zigzag zoom our water lines in. So you're going to go like this with your brush. And you're going to go on your shoreline. And like if you kept it open here, you want to do one going across here so they know where the sky and the water meet. So you're going to zigzag zoom there. And then you're just going to follow your coastline, staying horizontal, and doing these zigzag zoom lines all the way down. All right, so I'm going to, sorry, earthquake. All right, so you're just going to follow the coastline and see I'm just squiggling my brush, zigzag zooming, and you're just going to stay horizontal and follow your coastline. All right, just follow your coastline. And if you have a piece that's like really sticking out far, you can kind of like skip over the top of that and come down here. Like, so it looks like there's like a, a mud pile or something. So see how this piece is sticking out really far right there? So I'm going to skip over doing a zigzag zoom on the top of it, and I'm going to come down here. So that's up to you. If you follow the coastline all the way down, you can do that too. And it's a very, very light touch. Small amount of paint. Again, make sure you have a point on that brush. And we're just pulling that all the way down. Just pulling it all the way down. All right, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, on the flip side. So I'm going to put mine in really quick because I don't know what happened to my music. So I'm going to check a button. All right, so I'm going to start up here, and I'm just going in and out, into my brown, out into my water. There's my tree, skip over my tree, go in between the tree there. Come on the other side. Okay. Just in and out. In and out. That's all I'm doing. Just doing a little zigzag motions, that's it. And I just keep grabbing some more white paint. Very, very light touch. We're scribbling, baby. We're scribbling. Yep. Bam. Right, I'm going to wipe my brush off. And then, you want to do around your island. Okay, so you're going to go around your island. So you can add, like, you can come up into here. And you can do, like, pieces up there. And then come into the edge of your island. And again, even though I'm going straight across, I'm going to do these little zigzaggies coming down. And just like that, those two brown lines you made, bam. Reflections. Reflections. Just like that. Gotta love it. Painting, magic. You like it without the music, Nelda? I can lower the music. We can lower it. I'm sure you don't want to hear me sing, that's for sure. That's for sure. Definitely don't want to be hearing me sing. So I'll lower the music for you, okay, Nelda? Alright, I'm swirl tap dabbing my brush, getting it nice and clean. Grabbing some more white paint. You like it without, yeah, Lisa likes it without the music too. Okay. And now I'm just going to put some water lines in here. So you want to definitely put some in where the transition is. But, ooh, big word. I used a big word. So where this changes into the green and the yellow, you definitely want to put some in there. Okay, so you definitely want to put some water lines in there. Right? So you put those in there like that. And then you can put these in anywhere you want, but I put them over a piece over the transition line so you can really tell that, you know, this is like the water park going on. And then if you want to put in a big one, you can move your hand like that, put in some squiggles. They're your water lines. You can put in as many or as few as you want. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. And I'm going to come over here because this is water too. So I want to make sure everybody knows that this is water. So I'm going to put in some squigglies over there. Okay. And all I'm doing is squiggling my brush around. I'll go over my tree again because that's just fun. Just makes it look really cool. I am using Tiny. So it is a #1 round. Tiny. Tiny's in the house. That's what I'm using. Okay, so we're going to put our fence in now. So we can grab Mini Me. He looks just like Big Boy, except he's smaller. So we're going to go to this brush next. So he looks just like Big Boy, except he's smaller. He has a square edge. If you don't have one, you can use a round brush. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to be doing the fence posts. Okay, so everybody catch up mustard. Take a big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. Whoo, because you're doing it, guys. And I know some people are like, oh, but mine don't look so great. If it's your only second time painting, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be, guys. Just to let you know. Just to give you a little heads up. It's going to be what it's going to be. Just as long as you're having fun. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Alright, so I'm going to put the music back on softly. So, otherwise, I'm going to go nuts. It's really hard just to hear my own voice talk. Like, and that's all I hear. It's like, ugh, okay? And I hate to leave you guys, like, with like a dead zone, like no sound at all. It's like... Right, Tammy. It all comes together at the end. All comes together at the end. Have a sip of courage. I'm having my Pepsi. Too bad I don't get paid for doing that. Imagine that. That would be totally cool. Imagine if our little fan became so well known that I would get paid for drinking a Pepsi. Right? A girl can dream. We could dream, right? I'd bring you all with me. And then Tammy and I, we would have enough funds and we could do our road trip and visit Cinder with her puppies and visit all you guys and visit Nancy. And we'd be visiting everybody. We would just tour the United States visiting everybody. We'd be visiting everybody. Yep, dare to dream. Dare to dream. You never know. Oh, I thought that was low, but then it got really loud. Right, Tammy? I'm telling you. Alright, let me lower this a little bit for Lisa. For Lisa and for Nelda, we're going to lower it a little bit. Okay? So, it's a roll call time. We lost some people, but that's okay because they had to go. Ready? Roll call. Magna, I hope you're paying attention. Sorry about that. We have Lynn and Cheryl and Lisa and Rhonda and Kristen is here. That's my name. Kathy, her first time painting. Selena's in the house. Ginny, Callie, Calpana, Kel, Rhonda, Tammy, and Julia. So glad you guys are here tonight. You really warm my heart. First timer Ken, Jen in the house, Cinder hanging out, Teresa's still here. Oh yeah, Deborah hanging on, Sharon two-time Sharon, Joanne and Lizzie and Deb. Deb is here. Welcome, Deb. And Nancy and Denise and Julia and Julie and Mimi and Asif 3 times a charm. Amanda and Sue from Boston. Baston. Christy in California. Callie in the house. And we got Julie and Lisa and Nelda. And Kim C, Linda, and Cynthia will be on the replay because they had a split. Hey, Christy. How you doing, sweetie? You can catch the beginning. I post the replay as soon as I'm done. So, welcome. Welcome to New Jersey. We're across the country, baby. Across the country. Hi, Donna. How you doing, Donna? Awesome, Kathy. Making memories. That's what it's all about. Hi, Donna. Making memories. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take my mini me. You guys can use the small round brush if you don't have a mini me. I'm just going to grab my white paint and I'm just going to drop in my fence posts. Easy peasy, guys. Easy peasy. Amanda's still here. Hi, Amanda. I missed you. Did I say you? I could. Yeah, I said Amanda. Amanda's still here. There you are, girl. That's right. That's right. Christine in the house. I like your little black cat kitty, your little kitty cat picture, Christine. Christine, you were creeping. You're not on my list. Creeper Christine. Megan is here. Hey, Megan. Awesome, Julie. Awesome. I love making memories. I totally want to see everybody's work. Hi, Megan. Magno, we got Megan here. Oh, Kathy, Christine is your sister. Well, she was creeping. Gotta get your mom Donna to yell at her for creeping. Alright, I'm just grabbing white paint. I'm gonna come up to where my hills are. The hills are alive with the sound of music. And move your hand, not the brush. You're just gonna go to where your hill is, right? And it's gonna stop a little bit under it and it's gonna go up above it. Okay? So bam, swoop, just like that. It's all about the swoop. If you say swoop, it'll come out better. And this is an old fence, so they don't have to be straight. They don't have to be straight. We're just dropping these in. Just dropping these in. Making our way towards the path. So, however many you get in there, you know, I made the ones towards the path a little bit smaller. What does creeping mean? It means that you were just on the sideline watching and listening without saying hi. It's called being a creeper. You're just hanging out. Bam! Just like that. There's another one. So you're being a little creeper, Christine. That's okay, though. We still love you. Alright, going on the other side. Going on the flip side, guys. Okay? And you just want to make sure this matches up across. So go across this way. Kind of just match yourself across. Okay? Drop these in for yourself. All good. Just a fence. Nothing fancy. We're just painting in a fence. So you can make these as close as you want, as far away as you want. You can have as many posts as you want. You did? Then I'm a creeper because I missed you. Or Cinder likes to call me a goober. So I'm a goober. I totally missed you, Christine. My apologies. I don't know where the southern accent's coming from, but my apologies, my dear. I'm so glad you're painting with your sister, Kathy. It's awesome. And your mom, Donna. That's amazing. I completely missed you. Okay. So that's why Cinder calls me a goober. I know, right? I'm a big goober tonight. I'm just so excited because everybody's here tonight. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Y'all warm my heart. So, alright, so once you have those in, you're just going to go towards the top. And you're just going to put these lines in. And then you kind of connect them. But they don't have to be straight across. They could be all willy wonky. Willy wonky wonky willy. I'm being extra gooberish tonight. Right, and then I'm going to put the one towards the bottom here. So I kind of follow what the top one was doing. That's how I do that. But you don't have to do that perfectly. It's just an old white fence. So you can put in your side pieces any way you want to. Now Lisa probably has them lined up perfectly straight. Or when she gets to painting them, she'll have them lined up perfectly straight. Me, I'm a little bit more haphazard. I kind of just go with the flow. I love how we all paint the same thing, but then everybody's painting gets a touch of their own spirit in it. I think that's the most amazing part. Like, we all paint our own stuff, and then, you know, you're all following the same instructions and everything else. And that's on the event page. That's where I put a spot to share. So you guys make sure you share so we can all see them. Lisa's not even close. Hi, Carol. Hi, loves. There we are. Oh, no canvas. Oh, that's a bummer. Should paint on a pizza box. Megna, give Carol your pizza box. All right, so once I have that in there, I'm gonna grab my my tiny brush again. I know, right, Deb? I think that's the most awesome thing ever. So I'm gonna grab my tiny brush again, and we're gonna turn around and paint in our little ducklings. I'm going to paint them in yellow. So you want to grab white and yellow together. White and yellow together. because yellow doesn't like to show up to the party without its friend white. Remember when we did the center of the painting, which seems like centuries ago now? Remember when we just all started out with our blank canvas and did that center? So, want to grab some white and yellow, and we're just going to color these guys in. We're just coloring them in, that's it. Coloring in their little bodies. Just like that. And if you go out of your little white lines, just take your finger and smush it back in where it belongs. And you all know that's what spit's for. That's what spit's for. Ooh, homemade pizza. That sounds delicious. I have to make my own pizza too because I can't have cheese. So I am just coloring these guys in now. That's all we're doing. Putting our little yellow fluffies on them all. Just take your time. You know, do a little mush mush. Do a little mush mush here and there. Okay, just painting in our little ducklings. They don't get anything special. They're too small for any like shading or anything like that. They just get colored in. They're too small. Okay, and the guy in the water, you're going to have to give like a lot of coats of white too. A lot of coats of, like I'm going to put some more white on him. And then do like probably about 2 to 3 coats of yellow. So that's what I did on the other one. So you can see him. So I'm doing another coat of white on there. And then I'm going to do like 2-3 coats of yellow so you can see him against the water. Alright, and then once we put his little water markings in, he'll be great. Oh, well, that sounds really good too, you know, why not? Alright, so for Mama Duck, we're going to clean off your brush first because you don't want yellow on your brush. And we're going to grab the smallest amount of blue paint you ever seen in your life, alright? Literally, let me put it against my finger. See how much I grabbed on this small brush? You see that? The smallest amount of blue paint you ever seen in your life, okay? So you're going to grab that. And then you're going to grab your white paint. And make yourself a really, really light blue. And you want to come in here. And on that neck part you made, you want to fill that in blue. And then under the arm part on the belly, you're going to fill that in with some blue. And then right there, a little smush smush by the side of the triangle where the little triangle part is, you want to fill that in blue. And now I'm going to wipe off my brush. So you want to do this quickly. I'm going to wipe off my brush and I'm going to grab my white. I'm going to grab my white right behind it. And I'm going to do a little smush smush zig-a-zag to blend that out. Okay? So I'm just softening that out. I just grabbed white paint and I'm going right where I painted with the blue. And I'm just doing a little smush smush. Just a little smush smush. That's it. To get it nice and light and soft. So I grabbed some white paint and I'm just smush smush smushing. That's it. Just to soften it out. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get the camera nice and close. Oh, yeah, right. We need a microscope. Okay, so you guys can see it. So I put the small amount of blue on here, and then I grabbed the white and I kind of just smooshed it onto it and softened it out even more. So all I did was just little taps with a little bit of white paint on my brush just to soften that out and to fill it in. That's all I did, okay? And then you can grab some regular white paint and redo the head again. And you can redo the wings if you want to. So you got a nice white there. And then with your white paint on the bottom of that triangle, you're going to do a swoop and a swoop. And then do a little arch. 2 little arches to get little duck toes. Right? We need microscopes for these ducklings. They're so small. They are so tiny. We got tiny little ducks going on. Now we're going to come over here to where that part is. And you're going to do a swoop. You're going to do a swoop like that. And then do the arch thing. Okay? And then you can put the white to where the beak's coming out, which is coming out this way. So this way we just have to grab our orange and there's no worries, and we can fill in all the orange parts when we're ready. And then you're going to go back, grabbing that little bits of blue with the white, the microscope needed quantities of blue, just like Magna said, and you're going to go into your fence. And you just want to put some dashes of blue into your fence, see? Just a little bit of, just little schmoozes, that's all. If you notice, I didn't even grab any more paint. I just kind of used what was on the brush there. So it's just a small little hint. It's a small little hint, that's all. That's all you're doing. All you're doing. Because the sun's coming from over here. So this, we're looking at the back of the post, so they're going to have some sort of shadow on them. Alright? And then we're going to come over here and do this fence. I'm trying to leave the duck in view so you can, if you're still working on your ducky ducks. So I'm just grabbing that microscopic amount of blue again, like Magna said, and we're just throwing this in there real fast, like no worries here. And then we get to go back to mushing. So you guys are completely amazing. Creepers and all, goobers and all, puppies and all of our husbands and lawnmowers and all sorts of stuff that was going on tonight. And because we're going to do some mushing, and we're going to do some flowers, and we're going to be all set. And then we just have to color our ducks in, and we totally rock this out. That's what I'm talking about. So, we've got one more layer left of stuff to do. And then you can fill in your colors any way you'd like to. It's your world, it's your flowers, it's your colors. I'm going to show you how to get to that point. And then you guys can fill in your flowers any way you want to, because it's literally just dabs of paint. And is that music good, guys? Is that music good? Nelda and Lisa, are we good with that? Good, right? You can hear me all right, right? All right, so you want to take out your fluffy, your medium-sized fluffy. Perfect. All right, great, Nelda. Awesome. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make for sure. Yup. Lisa, what part of the painting are you on? Can I ask you? Because everybody's like stressing out and stuff, and you've been painting for a while now. You're really good at it. So just give these guys a heads up at where you're at, so everybody doesn't feel like they should be Wonder Woman and accomplishing these amazing things. Because everybody can go at their own pace. That's what that's all about. Okay, so we're going to swirl tap dab our fluffy. We're going to mash them all up like we did before for our smooshes. Way back when, it feels like a century ago, we did our smooshes, right? So I'm going to turn around and grab my yellow and white. So I'm going to add some white, and I'm going to add some yellow to this bad boy. Jen, your cape is tattered, but it's all good, right? You know how many times I trip on my cape? Lisa's up to the ducks. That's my girl. That's my girl. You're awesome. Of course you did. And it's all good. That's why we just say have fun and create, guys, because this is all good. Wherever you're at, whatever point you're at, whatever level you're at, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we're hanging out together, and we're hanging out as a family, and you're all being awesome, and we all support each other, and we're sending well wishes, and we're talking about, well, I'm talking about my dreams. I'm singing Rubber Ducky. So that's what matters. That's what matters. All right, so yellow and white. Smooshing time. Okay, so I'm going to smoosh over here on this tree. Notice I'm not following the branch. I'm going on top of where the branch is. Going on top of where the branch is, right? So we're going to smoosh some of this in here, right in here. Okay, yellow and white. Now, if you have, like my reflection would be down here. Dizzy Lisa, your vertigo's not cooperating. We have husbands not cooperating. We got puppies not cooperating. I have paint not cooperating. It's a not cooperating evening. That's what it is. So, if you have your trees to where this part would be in the water, see mine's too far down. You're going to do the same thing. You just smush the color into the water, take your finger, pull down, pull across. Okay? And when you guys smush, this is where you ran into the trouble before. You're not using a lot of paint. Right? For sure. But that's okay. You're not using a lot of paint. A little bit of paint goes a long way. Okay, so we're going to do those. And then over here, on this part of the bush, you want to make sure your brush is really, really mashed out. You guys can use whatever colors you want. You make your trees any colors you want. You can do whatever you want. So you want to make sure your brush is really like all over the place. All sorts of directions. And I'm just going to grab that white. I'm going to dab that into my white. Bam, like that. And I dab it into my yellow like that. Bam. I'm going to do a little tap, tap. All different directions. And I'm going to come over here to these bushes right here. I'm going to do a little tap, tap into these bushes. And make all these little yellow flowers happen. And it's a very, very light tap. It's a very small amount of paint. Hardly any paint on my brush at all. I'm making sure my bristles were in like 6,000 directions. And you can just tap in your flowers just like that. Okay, and if you want to get more particular and draw your flowers individually, you would just dab white and then put the color over it. So if you want to use a smaller brush and do your flowers individually, I'm going to show you down here how to do them individually. Okay, so I got that. Now I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. And I'm going to do my pink. So what color trees are you guys doing? You don't have to do pink and yellow. What are you guys doing? I want to hear. Okay, So I'm going to grab my white and my red. Again, a small amount of paint. Just a small amount. That's why we dab on the side after we grab it. That's why we do this dabbing thing on the side, to get the excess paint off the brush. Okay, so that's what happened when you guys were mushing before and it got a little muddy and messed up. But that's okay. Purple and pink. I love it, Cinder. Magenta and white. Cinder's going with the glitter, of course. 6,000%. We got magenta and white in the house. We got purple and pink in the house. Nice. I like it a lot. Alright, so I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to smush, smush, smush this guy in. I'm not following any rhyme or reason. I'm not following any branches. I'm not doing anything. I'm just smushing. Okay, just smushing away. You just want to make sure you're not using that much paint. Small amounts of paint. Nice, Jen. I like it. Pinking it up. We're pinking it up. I like the way you put that. Alright, so I'm not, there we go. And then I'm going to come over here. And again, I'm going to make sure my bristles, I'm not going to wash my brush. I don't want it to be wet. So very, very dry brush. And I'm going to give it a major mashing. I'm going to give it a major mashing going on. You notice I'm really beating them up. Make sure my bristles are in every direction. See that? Okay. And then I'm going to grab my my red. I'm just going to dab it on the tip. Do a little dab, dab on the side. Get that excess paint off of it. I'm going to come over to these bushes over here. And I'm going to dab these flowers in. So you can paint these flowers individually if you want. You can paint them with the dabs. They're far away. It's really your call on how do you want these flowers to show up. It's all up to you. If you're going to do the smush technique, you just want to make sure it's very little amount of paint, guys. Small amount of paint. And make sure you're leaving those dark areas. Don't get so nutty that you don't have those dark areas in there, because then it's going to look like a big mushy mess. And if you lost your dark areas, just wipe your brush off and grab some dark paint and put them back in. That's all. Okay. Now we're going to go to where our fence is. We're going to clean our brush off. So let that sit a minute. You know what? Let the brush sit a minute, and we'll grab, I'm going to grab Mini Me. You guys can grab whatever you want. It's all up to you. It's your brush. And I'm going to grab some yellow, and I'm going to grab some blue to make a dark green. No white added this time. We don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to make the dark green. And I'm going to come under here. And I'm going to make my shadow lines. So you kind of want them all to be at like the same angle. Alright, so these all need to be at the same angle. So whatever angle you make, just move your hand and do the same thing all the way across. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in. And then I'm going to just move my hand across and do the same one all the way across. Okay, so just go all the way across and then do the same angle. And then you want to get the piece of the board that's on top. Alright? So you just want to get the piece of the board that's on top. And there's hardly any paint on my brush, because this is just a shadow. So I'm not using that much paint at all. I'm using a very, very, very light touch. And the only thing you want to make sure of is you have the same angle coming across off the post, okay? So let's do this side. Let's do this side. Right? Same angle. So I'm going to go like that, and then I'm just going to move my hand over. Do that. Move my hand over. Do that. You know, just make sure you have like the same angle going on. So if you need to leave your hand alone, leave it alone and just draw the line. Just draw the line. Right, and then you need the top of the fence post in there. So you want to draw the hint of that being in there. And that's it, just like that, you made a shadow. And I'm going to grab my Fluffy now after he just soaked all in that water and he's nice and clean. Ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. I'm going to smash them on my paper towel. Swirl, tap, dab, and smash them. And then I'm going to, oop, earthquake. I just kicked the camera stand. I just kicked the camera stand. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. So, we're hanging tough tonight. Oh yeah, it's got some extra details in it. Good thing I didn't add all the extra animals. We would have been here till tomorrow. Hanging tough. That's alright though. It's all good. Friday night. Alright, so I'm just making my green paint. I'm going to grab a little bit of white. Grab a little bit of white. You just want to make sure it's darker than your grass. And I'm going to come in under my fence and I'm just going to smush. Light smushes, a little bit of paint. I'm going to smush those fence posts right out. Do on this side now. Do my smushes. Okay. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, just like that. Okay, Kathy, bye, hon. Bye, sweetheart. Okay, now we're gonna do our oranges on our ducks, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the flowers like the individual flowers if you want to do those. So we're just gonna make orange, right? Red and yellow with our tiny brush. Whoop. Earthquake! I did it again. Whoops, I did it again. So, red and yellow. Making ourselves an orange. Grab some yellow here. I got a big old mess on my palette and I like it. That's the way I like it. So, I'm just making some red and yellow mixed together. Don't add any white to it. That's why we put the white on the background already. Because if you add white to this, it's going to make it peach. So that's why we mapped with the white first. And now we can just go on and put our orange on. And we don't have to worry about it being peach. Alright, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to do his beak. Alright, so we're going to fill in these beaks right here. The guy's squawking. It's coming out the side. Okay, the guy right next to Mama, his is straight down. And the guy in the water, his is straight down. Okay, Mama's is coming out off the side here. Remember we put that little piece of white there? So hers is coming off the side. Right, make sure you don't have any globs. Zip globs on your brush. You're going to get globs on your painting. Then we can do the feet. So Mama's feet are the most important. So you did it in white before, those shapes. So now you're just filling it in with the orange. So you have this foot down on the ground like that. And you have this foot up here against her body pointing upwards. Okay, and then we could do our little birdie feet down here, little dirty birdie feet, great green globs, greasy, grimy gopher guts. Megna, great green globs, greasy, grimy gopher guts, little dirty birdie feet. We haven't said that one in a long time, have we? Right? I'm just smushing because, you know, these feet are small, so we're not going to be very particular. I'm not going to be very particular about this. The only ones we want to really worry about to look nice is the mama's feet. That's it. Right? And you don't see the guy in the water. You don't see his feet. So just his beak coming straight down. Just his beak coming straight down. And I'm cleaning off my brush, and I'm going to grab my yellow. And I'm going to do the guy in the water. Remember I said I have to do him a few coats to get him to really pop. So here's the one coat. And we'll be doing another one on him. Just to get him really to pop. I'm going to actually, so you guys can see him, I'm going to actually add a little bit of orange to my yellow. That way you guys can see him, because I know you can't see him. So I'm adding a little bit of orange to my yellow. Just so you guys can see him, so I can show you how to do the water lines. So I added the smallest amount of orange, right? The microscope amount, like we did with the blue. And then I'm just going in with yellow paint and softening that all out. So he has a little bit of an orange tone, but I want you to be able to see him, because I want to show you how to do the water ringlets around him. Okay, so we got a little Mr. Orange Duck here. That's okay, he got a suntan. He was out in the sun too long. Alright, so while they're drying, the flowers against the fence, all I did was I took Mini-Me. I took that small square brush, right, give it a nice cleaning because it's filled with the green from the shadows. So I took Mini-Me, this small square brush, and I grabbed white paint, and all I did was dabs. Like that. Here, there, not everywhere. Here, there, not everywhere. So, here, there, not everywhere, I did white dabs of paint. So, that is the flowers against the fence. And then, as we're working on our ducks, these will dry, and I can fill them in with color. So, I'm just dabbing white paint on them. Just doing a little smush, that's all I'm doing. And then the fence on the other side, same thing. Same thing. Just doing the white paint, smushing these on here. Right? If it's not dry yet, you won't be able to do this. So if your green isn't dry yet, that's okay. Get your hair dryer out, Cinder. Like Denise said, don't blow dry too close. Lisa has to get her fan out. Everybody's blowing on their canvases. You're all blowing on your canvases. Oh, that's great. So we're throwing those on there. Okay, and then I added some daisies. So the daisies are easy peasy. The daisies are easy peasy. I just used my small brush. And you just think of hands of a clock. That's all you think of. So you're going to do, you make yourself a center. Put you guys up closer. So the daisies, a little daisy bunch that I did. Just do a little center for yourself. And then hands of a clock. Bam. Coming out. Just like that. And you can do as many of these or as little of these as you want. Bye, Magna. Bye, sweetie. See you Tuesday. Oh, wait, Magna, you can't go yet. I didn't show you next Friday's painting. All right, guys. So before everybody starts splitting out on me, I'm going to post a link for the tips again. And Magna, you got to see Friday's painting. I didn't show you guys. I forgot. So let me do the tips links. Boop. Okay. And Friday. This is Friday, guys. Another Mother's Day one. So I hope you're all excited. You all keep asking me for dragons. There it is. That's Friday's painting. So there you go, Mama Dragon. Hanging out. Waiting for her baby. Just like our friend Hannah. So I hope you're all super excited about that. And How To Tuesday is going to be wings. Wings, wings, wings. Oh, and thank you guys for all your well wishes with hanging out with my mom. That was totally cool. Okay, so let me show you I just showed you the daisies. And now we have to add our duck eyeballs. So my small brush with the black paint. You're welcome, Magna. So black paint and mamas are right here. This guy's right here. Boop, boop. He only has the one on the side because he's squawking. This guy is one on one side towards the side of his head and then one on the other. You're welcome, love. This guy, you see a smidge on the side of his head and then over here. And then the guy in the water looking straight on. He's just boop, boop. On either side of his beak there. Doot, doot, just like that. You're welcome, honey. Alright, and while you have this black paint on your brush, those smush trees you did before, you can add your little twigs to them now if you want to. So, you can put part of the branches back in, just like we did before. Just like we did before in the other part. So, if you want to put some of the little pieces back in to add some more depth, just here and there, not everywhere. Not everywhere. Alright, so I can put this branch piece back in right there. And see how that automatically puts those flowers towards the back? And then I can do like a little hint of little branches coming off. Awesome, Deb. You're welcome, honey. Welcome to the fam, babe. Okay, so you can put the hint of the branches in this tree now like we did before. Have a good night, Deb. And we need our water ringlets. And you could color in your flowers. And we're all set, guys. So the water ringlets about around our little duck there, you're just going to grab, this is all tiny. This is all detail. So it's all the small round brush. It's all tiny. So right around this guy, you want to do his little water ringlets. Okay, so you want to start out coming out from the side of him. And then you're going to wrap it around. And bring it in on the other side. Okay? And then you can start on the side of it. Now you don't have to connect them all the way through. You can do one like this. And then just do a little piece on that side like that. Hi, Joy. I was wondering where you were. Hi, sweetheart. Say hi to everybody. There's a bunch of new fam on, so you don't have to. Night, Amanda. Bye, sweetie. So you don't have to. You don't have to have them all circle around like the first one did. You can just have the pieces of them on the side of him. So you can just do the little pieces on the side of them like that. So there's your water ringlets. And now your white flowers should be dry. So you could go in with your colors on your white flowers. So whatever colors you choose. So I can grab my red paint and I can come in here and bam, I put the red on that white and it just pops for me. I don't have to worry about putting a bunch of layers or anything. So that is how you do the dab flowers. That's what I call them, doing the dab flowers. You just dab white and then you dab the color on top. That's all you got to do. And that's it, guys. Unless you guys have any questions, I think I showed you it all. That was a lot of fun, right? It was a cute little painting. So I just want to thank everybody for watching me tonight and joining me. And like I said, it's always free to watch. Tips are appreciated. Art supplies can't buy themselves. And I'm so glad everybody who has sent me a tip and a gratuity, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that. And, if you can't, then just share. Thanks, Teresa. Bye, sweetheart. Joy, I had a wonderful time with my mom. And, what was I saying? I forgot. Anyway, I hope you had a really good time. Those of you watching the replay, my replay peeps, I have Kim C, Linda, and Cynthia, and a couple of the other ones are going to be grabbing the replay. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you, Teresa. Thanks, Nelda. Thank you so much, Christine. So I just want to tell you all, remember, have fun and go create, all right? You all warm my heart, and thank you so much for joining me. Mwah. Right? So have a great night, guys. Thank you. That sounds like an awesome idea, Lizzie. That sounds like an awesome idea. Thanks, Jenny. Lizzie, it was amazing to meet you. Thank you, Joanne. Welcome to the fam, guys. Have a great night, Joanne. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Mama Donna and Kathy and Christine, our first-timers. And we have Kim, first-timer, even though she's getting distracted. And my Tammy and my Julia are here, and Cinder and Megna and Lisa. Wings, Joy. Wings is for Tammy. I'm going to hold you to that. Talk to you soon, love. Thank you so much, Kalpana. Tuesday is wings, and I'll show you Fridays. Cinder, you and your babies. I can't believe they ate your book. Love you too, Goober. I'm so glad you're back to painting with us. You were missed. So I'm glad you're here. I can't wait to see what sparkles you add to this lovely, lovely painting. And I hope you guys learned some tricks on our whole landscape deal going on. And Joy, you want to see Friday? I'll show you Friday. This is Friday, Joy. So that's for Friday, and How To Tuesday is going to be wings. Everything to do about wings. Not the kind you eat, though. That sounds like an excellent idea, Lynn. Stretch it out and come on back. I need a good stretch myself. Oh, you got a chance to see Friday's Joy? Okay, cool. Yeah, so I had a great lunch with my mom, and my gallery show went really well. And if you want to see the gallery show, if you go into the event, I posted a video in there and the pictures of the paintings. So if you guys want to see the gallery show. Right, Joy? It's not the wings we eat, though. I turn around and say, like, let's all of us do wings on Tuesday for painting wings, but I'd be eating and I'd be talking with food in my mouth, so you wouldn't be able to understand me. You wouldn't be able to understand me. We had all sorts of new fam on tonight, so I'm so excited to meet all of you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you come back for more torture. And thank you, Kathy, for having your mom and your sister paint. That was amazing. So Donna and Christine, it was wonderful to meet you all. Thank you so much. And Megan's here with Julie, so that's awesome. So I hope Megan had a good time. If anybody's watching a replay, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to message me and I'll help you out. And Nancy, if you're still out there, my fancy Nancy, thank you so much, hon. Love you bunches. Thank you, everybody. Oh, we gotta move this over so we can see Mama Duck and her babies. There we go. There they are. They're too cute. I like them. I like them a lot. Just for you, Cal. If anybody would like to see anything else, I'll be on for another minute or two. If you want me to repeat anything or show you anything, let me know, okay? Thank you so much, everybody. Well, thank you so much, everybody, sticking this one out with me. It was a long one, woo! But we did it. We made it through, and y'all warmed my heart. We had it was awesome. It was awesome hanging out with everybody, and on this lovely Friday evening. And those of you first time joining us, welcome to the fam, and I hope to see you again real soon. All right, so thank you so much. Mwah. Good night, Cinder. Everybody have a great night, okay? Bye.